also the HCAP program. I've known Sean for quite a long time. I've known him when he was actually just transferring in from out there from Los Angeles and coming out here as a young, aspiring Fresno State student. And throughout the years, kind of have got to know him as he was trying to get into our program as well. And eventually, he got in, and even then, I got to see him even more on a weekly basis, sometimes 3 or 4 times a week. So we always made contact with each other, even as he has gone away onto UC Davis, the post-bac program. We still keep in contact. So I appreciate him coming out here during his spring break and talking to you about UC Davis and pretty much just the journey of medicine, and this applies to any also health profession as well, not just medicine, but what he has done out there at UC Davis as a special program that is actually tailored towards him as he's applying to medical schools this year for an acceptance for the following year, and also his girlfriend, Indonesia Bynum, has actually one of the bar VCC has actually just passed her exam to become a nurse, and actually has officially got a job here at the Clovis Community Hospital. So congratulations.
Thanks.
So that's pretty awesome. Well, the floor is yours, Sean. So thanks for coming out here.
I just wanted to say, first and foremost, thank you for having me. It's really, truly a blessing just to be here. Literally, I took this class in 2009, and I took it in 2010. So just me coming, never seeing physicians, never talking to the physicians, and wanting to be a physician just showed me kind of what I can do to get there. And I just met a lot of different physicians. I met post-bac students, so I always kept that in my head as I continued this journey. That's what I call it. But can I get a gauge of how many freshmen do we have here? Okay, I had mentors. When I was here, my freshman year, I did it all alone. Then I got into HCOP, and HCOP has changed my life. It literally has. When I say family, it put me with a family, a group of people that supported me. It also gave me the opportunity to meet physicians that I had never met, didn't even know about medicine. I just knew I wanted to be a doctor because when I was younger, my mother, she worked 2 jobs, so she used to place us in after-school programs to keep us busy. So during that, she placed me in the firefighter rescue program, and I used to see, I was placed with 2 firemen EMTs, and I used to see all of these medical emergencies, and I was like, man, I want to do that one day. Then I met my first doctor. I remember when I was 16, I met my first doctor, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is an actual physician. How did you do it? Tell me how I can be where you are. And that's another good thing. It's always good to ask. It's never a dumb question. And people will tell you at school right now, I'm always the first person to raise my hand when I don't understand something. And that's a change from my undergraduate career, because if I didn't know something, I felt like everybody else knew it around me. So let me not ask, because it might be a dumb question. And it's not a dumb question, because I'm realizing as I got older, the person next to me, they don't know the answer either. So it's really, really good to ask questions. One of my mentors, it's crazy. So one of my mentors, they told me, write down your goals. Write down your goals in life. So one day I got home and I was like, okay, he said write down your goals. So I take a piece of paper out and I start writing down my goals. I want to graduate from college. I want to get in the post-bac program. I want to be a doctor. I want to get into medical school. And literally a month ago, I talked to him and told him I started checking off things on my goals. So you get that sense of accomplishment. Because this process is literally a journey. You can't do it alone. Sometimes you get tired. Sometimes you get down. Sometimes you get told no. I remember my freshman year, I came in as a history major to Fresno State, and I wanted to change my major to biology, anatomy and physiology. So we had to go to one of the pre-med advisors to switch our degrees, switch to a different department. And I remember going and sitting in his office. I finally got into her office. I started talking to her. I said, I just need these check marks. I need you to sign here. And she was like, okay. So she was like, what do you want to do with your life? And I explained to her I want to be a doctor. And she was like, oh, how did that come up? I was like, oh, I told her about the firefighter experience. And I told her, and she was like, okay, do you have family members and stuff? I said, no. And she was like, oh, well, my daughter's in medical school. And she looked at my grades from that first semester and seen that I had like C's, I had D's. And she was like, oh, you want to be a doctor? And I was like, yeah, I want to be a doctor. And she, she like directed me to nursing. And I was like, no, I want to be a doctor. And she was like, it's a really competitive field. I remember those exact words. She said, it's a really competitive field to get into. My daughter, she had a 3.83 and she barely got in. I was like, okay, but I'm not your daughter, you know? Like, I want to get into medical school. This is my dream. Like, literally, I sat there and told her, this is my dream. And, like, she basically almost killed it, you know? Really. And that's one thing in life, people all the time are going to tell you no. That's just life. They're going to say, okay, he's not good enough, or, okay, like, he came from certain background, so there's going to be no. And you'll meet a million people like that, but you'll meet the one person that will tell you yes. And that's the person that you got to rock with, you know? And it's been like that with HCOP. Every time I wouldn't do as well like that, I would literally go to Dr. Juan Carlos Gutierrez's office and talk to him. We sit there and we'll talk for hours. You know, we'll literally sit there and talk for hours, and just, he would get my mind off, like, me struggling in school. But he would also leave telling me that I could do it, and that one day I will be a doctor. And so, and another thing HCOP gave me that year, those 2 years, is not only a family, they allowed me to do internships. So with that internship, I got to do an internship in emergency medicine at CRMC. And I got to meet amazing doctors, got amazing experiences. Then I also got to intern at a nonprofit organization in West Fresno called West Fresno Family Resource Center. And I did that for 2 years. I interned at West Fresno Family Resource Center for 2 years, which is my second, that summer, my third year, and my fourth year in college. My fifth and sixth, I didn't do anything for my father. But there I founded and created a program called Healthy Eating Habits for youth. So we would go to like the Marietta Brown Center. I don't know if people are familiar with Fresno. So we would go there and we would have all the kids from like the high schools, the middle schools, and we would talk about like just like the importance of eating healthy and like how obesity and just statistics from obesity. And I would just tell them about that. But also a lot of them would ask me about college. They would say like, oh, how did you get here? Like, I've never seen nobody like African American or, you know, come from a minority background that's in college. And I told them too, nobody in my family, I'm the first person in my family to ever go to college. It's possible. And you really need people to tell you that it's possible. And that's one of the reasons why I love coming out here. And like loves talking to students that are like me, you know? Because we all have struggles, but we're all gonna make it one day. And so I started, like I said, I had a conversation with my mentor. He also told me to take a picture of myself, get a lab coat, and take a picture of myself in a lab coat so I can see where I'm gonna be one day. And I was like, no, I'm not gonna do that. No, I'm not gonna do that. And I was like, what's the point, you know? And I still had this mentality that I wasn't gonna be a doctor one day. So I actually got into this program, and the first day they took me into medical school, and literally I almost fainted. I was like, man, I'm here, like I'm here. Like, these dudes went to Harvard, they went to UCLA, and I went to Fresno State, and I'm still here. I'm in the door. And one of the first things the advisor for my program did, they gave me a white coat, and they said, take a picture. They took a picture of me, and they said, envision yourself in this white coat, and know that it's going to happen in the future. And literally, that's what I did. I printed this picture out, and I have it next to my bed. So every time I'm studying, it gets to 3 o'clock in the morning, it gets to 4 o'clock in the morning, I look at this picture and see, like, that's going to be me in the future. And just see it, all the hard work is going to pay off. Even though nobody in my family went to college, even though I never met any physicians before I was 18 besides one, I still got the opportunity to put on that white coat and that stethoscope. And I just said, every day I say to myself, it's time to be great. Like, I gotta make it. Like, I gotta reach my dreams. And that's what that picture represents. That's what that picture represents, me reaching my dreams. And I'm here right now, but I just gotta take a couple more steps, and I'll be in that white coat. So, after medical school, the question that I always asked the physician, like literally every physician that I've asked throughout, I said, how do you get to where you're going to be? And one thing they always say in common, whether they're a family medicine physician or a cardiothoracic surgeon, they say the three things that you need to know. You need to have dedication, determination, and persistence. Because in medicine and in life, you're going to fail. You're going to be denied. Doors are going to close. But are you strong enough to get back up when you're told no? You know, and that really makes a difference because throughout my whole entire life, I've been told no. And I know some of you guys have been told no too, and you've been denied, you failed, but you're still here. You're still being successful, and that really makes a difference. And that persistence, that dedication, and that determination is going to get you to where you need to go one day.